So when I'm here and I have these two lines, I'm going to use a slightly different command called mirror. I'm going to type in mirror. And I'm going to use it to mirror this line around the midpoint and mirror this line around this midpoint. I can repeat the command by just pressing the spacebar and it ends up being fairly quick. Now I have my rectangle, and if I use this measure command, you will see that from here to there is 14 feet, and that from here to there is 16 feet, the room that I wanted to create. Now I have the outline of the inner walls, and if you remember, I was saying I want to keep it a little bit tidy, so uh, these lines should actually be a polyline, but I drew it as a line. When you get more proficient, you will probably drew all of this in one big rectangle starting from here and giving it at 14 feet, 16 feet. Uh, um, Oops, I probably didn't put feet, I put inches. Let's see. I can draw a rectangle starting from here and giving it commands 14 feet, comma, 16 feet. And here I have another rectangle sitting on top. I'm going to erase it just by pressing delete. Now I'm back to having single lines and not multiple things. Undo will undo the command. So I'm now having these separate lines, and once you get more proficient, you will draw it as a rectangle because it's a lot easier and a lot faster. I just wanted to show you how we can do this. Now I want to convert it into polyline because it will help me to kind of have all of these things together. And even if I started as a line, I can create it into polyline by typing polyline edit or pedit as a command. So I'm going to select this line, and it will give me a warning. This is not a polyline. Do you want to convert it into one? I will type in yes, and I will use command called join, and then join. Now or just type in J, enter. Now I can probably, okay, oh, what did I do? So let me pedal back. It seems I'm just going to regenerate the drawing. Okay, now I'm going to start from the beginning. So I'm going to use command called pedit. I'm going to convert this now into polyline, yes, and I'm going to use join. I'm going to select these lines to join them, and once I'm done I can close. Just pressing enter. Now let's see. If I highlight, the whole thing highlights, I do have a polyline now. Somehow I double click, you'll probably see where I made a mistake. I probably double click and did something off. Now I have a single polyline. Now what this allows me is a whole thing will act together as a single object, as if I did it, drew it as a rectangle. And that will help me to draw the walls. Remember we were saying that we are going to draw the walls, if they're interior walls, we will draw them at 4 inches, and exterior, we will draw them at 8. So these 3 walls I will treat as interior, and this is going to be the exterior wall. So I'm going to use a command called offset. So I can type in offset or just O as a shortcut, and I want to offset it 4 inches. So I'm going to use this offset distance of 4. Type in 4, and I'm going to select this and offset it 4 to the outside. pressing enter means I'm done with the command. Now I have 4 inches walls all around. Well, it's good, but not great because I need to have it 8 inches here. Now there are multiple things that I can do, and I did something different in the previous tutorial, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to draw a line from this endpoint here and line from this endpoint here. I'm going to use a command called trim. I'm going to type in trim, and then I'm going to select cutting edges. So these are the cutting edges. I'm going to use this line, and this line. And I'm going to just trim these little pieces here and then erase this thing. Now I have it open. This is 4 inches away because this is how I created it. Now I'm going to offset it 4 more inches. And I'm going to erase the middle line. So here I'm having 8-inch wall to the outside and 4-inch wall all around. And I'm still keeping it very tidy. These are polylines. So here we are, we have all the walls and they stayed nicely packed. You see, this is one object, this is the other object, and then I have this line that is extra. So it's still tidy. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make a door. I'm going to switch layer into a layer door, and I'm going to draw a door 4 inches from the wall. They will have 1.5 inches of a frame and will be 30 inches wide. So in order to do that, I'm going to draw a helper line. Doesn't matter how long. I'm going to offset it through 4 inches. And then here, I'm going to draw a rectangle that is going to be 1.5 inches by 4 inches. So I can directly draw a rectangle. Here it is a rectangle starting from here. And then I'm going to give relative coordinates at minus 1.5, comma, minus 4. And that should give me a rectangle going left and down away from this point here. So I have it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this line, taking into account that my clean opening of the door will be 30 inches. I'll have 1.5 inches on one side, 1.5 inches on the other side. So I'm going to offset this for 33 inches. So offset 33 inches from here there. Okay, so this is the end of the opening, and I need to repeat this rectangle here. So I'm going to use command called copy. I'm going to copy this from this corner here. Okay, now I have it. I'm going to use command called trim again, and I'm going to use these cutting edges. The command called trim changed. I'm going to use these as cutting edges, and I'm going to cut wall. Oops. It seems that I have not fully extended this line, or something is off. So it's not cutting it here. Now I'm going to show you something else that I can do. I can use a grip edit, which is I'm just going to make sure that this line extends above so that I can use it. And this is called grip edit. In most cases, grip edit is completely imprecise. So for trim, where these are just the helper lines, I really don't care. But in other cases, oh, maybe, let's see. Oops, it seems that I already did trimmed it, but there was an extra piece of line on top. So I'm going to erase all of these. These were helpers. Now here's what I have. Well, I have a door opening, and I can show you if I measure it from here to there, 2 feet 6 or 30 inches. And I now need to draw a door. First thing of the door is a door swing. I'm going to draw a circle starting from here to there. And then I'm going to draw a rectangle from here up. The door is going to have a thickness of 1 inch. So I'm going to use relative coordinates 1 inch, comma 30, which is the height of the door. Okay, here's what it is. Now I'm going to use command called trim again. And oops, I'm forgetting that cutting edges need to be set first. And now with this, I just trim the door. So it's trimmed up to these intersections. Okay, now I have a door. The last thing that I need is going to be a window right here. I'm going to switch into layer glazing, and I'm going to draw a window that is going to be 6 feet long, and we'll have 2 frames on the sides, and will be centered in the room. So I'm going to draw a line from midpoint up as my helper line, and I'm going to offset it 3 feet to both sides to get the dimensions of the opening. Now I can offset this 1.5 inches again to have the value for the frame. I'm going to use these as a cutting lines, this one and this one, and get rid of the wall. And now that I have these, I'm just going to draw a rectangle here, a rectangle there. I do have corners. I'm going to draw lines in between. These are the, oops, to the end point here. Line from here, end point there, and line from midpoint to the midpoint. That's my window. I'm going to erase all my helper lines, and here is the window. This is what you need to know. So you will have different windows, you will have different doors, you might actually have some closets, but in general, all the information on how to draw a room will be here. Have fun.